This is episode of Daddy Andy Show with special guests on camera as well for the Power Hour. We got Steve, we got Rachel, we got C-Red on the camera here in Zoom.
We got PX.
Oh, and Pat's here. And if you look in the background, he just appeared from the brush. Rion is here as well. He's ordering something.
100% Power Hour participation.
Everyone is here right
We are
now.
here for Tobias, not for you.
For Tobias.
Let's make sure we get this
It's not
right.
gonna be-
We're framing this
I just
properly.
want to be clear, when Nan said I was the prettiest one here, I said no, Tobias is here.
Tobias is the
So-
official head of the table as we sit at the head of the table.
He is our tribal chief.
Tribal chief. All right, yeah, this is Tobias. We've just introduced him without, this is an informal introduction. Tobias, say
Yeah.
hello to the Hot Rod Daddy
Well,
Andy Show
hello, Hot Rod Daddy Andy Show
and to the Power Hour podcast.
and the Power Hour podcast. Thank you for having me here.
Tobias, we're guests in your house. We're happy to be here. And we have the lichen back this year, which is if you're missing the lichen at Rabid Brewing, you're just letting the best things in life go by you. Come down and have some.
And I was saying that C-Red, I have seen drink fake propaganda while he grills. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he is.
I was super stressed out about this. I was trying to get product placement of Rabid stuff all over the table, and I've done a good job. I want to make sure
There's the insignia, if you can see it.
We've got people still watching. We got Michael, we got Mark, we got Joey Lee, that's Gustavo. We got a bunch of people watching.
Gustavo's watching, that son of a bitch.
Oh,
I'm gonna kick your ass, Gustavo, wherever you are. I don't know where my camera is. Yeah, I'm gonna get you. Okay, good. We're good.
Gustavo was Steve's enemy.
Punch me out. Knock my ass off a chair.
All right, so I've been posting this for the last 2 weeks now, I think.
It's been rather cryptic, Hot Rod Daddy Andy.
Yeah.
Do I have to call you that the whole night, or can I just call you Andy?
Just call
It's
me-
very
just
inconvenient.
call me Andy. The sunglasses are up.
Go ahead,
Look at
go
the
ahead.
glasses now. But today is the day. I did say on Thursday at 7 we would be making an announcement. Now we are on like 4 different cameras right now. I think we should probably make that announcement.
So the announcement is the emergence of Rabid Wrestling Entertainment,
Yeah.
brand new pro wrestling federation. RWE is it's a story driven, inclusive, character focused promotion that is designed for us all to get together and cheer on the demigods, the jesters, and the weird warriors who are all looking for a slice of immortality. We're also going to be opening up a bit of we're going to be training up the next a new generation of wrestlers. And meanwhile, one important part of that is that we're really planning on removing any financial barriers that might prevent certain people from who would otherwise not be able to participate in. So that's really the major announcement here.
So just to recap, a brand spanking new. It's the birth. It's like we're witnessing the birth here.
This is
Power
it.
Hour show.
Without the labor
It-
pain.
It's coming. It's
No
coming.
labor
It's
pain.
coming right out of.
Show.
It's shooting right out of the canal.
The labor
One thing I have done for the podcast is make everyone really comfortable with
the labor pains- the labor pains have
a
not started
pregnant
yet.
person's experience.
Today is just the announcement. The labor pains have truly not started yet. That'll come with the bookie.
All right, so it's a brand new company, Rabid Wrestling Entertainment, RWE. It just rolls off the tongue. So my question to you at this time is, does this brewery, and if you're looking around at this brewery, first of all, this brewery is in Homewood, which number one, that's amazing. Number two, and as far as we're concerned, regardless of what is said, there's only one true brewery in this town, and this is where it's at. However, we're here for the knockouts. There's a lot of cool things. The Festival of the Goat Queen. I mean, so many things happen out of Rabid Brewing. So wrestling is now here too, which makes it even more amazing. But my question is, and maybe you did allude to it slightly, does the brewery own the wrestling company?
Oh, yeah, right. That's a good question. Basically, the short answer is no. It is, however, a shared brand that is owned by myself and my wife, my partner, Ray Rosato. And so, there is some kind of crossover there.
A brewery wrestling, it's as if God made a magical Oreo out of wrestling and beer. And I love all of it. So to follow that question with yet another, and I have many questions tonight. Why is now the time? What about now made Rabid decide to jump into the wrestling brand?
There were a number of things. I think that we're seeing a desire for more community and more event experiences in general ever since COVID recovery and then now even as far as wrestling itself, AEW has done an amazing job at popularizing the sport, repopularizing the sport outside of just WWE. It's been, I mean, how many years has it been since they've had any kind of major competition?
About
And-
23 years, 24 years.
right.
Yeah.
Been a minute, been a hot minute.
So this is kind of like a new thing for everybody that's, oh my God, there's something other than just WWE out there. And so people are starting to look around. Oh, AEW exists too? Well, what else exists? Now we're seeing a little bit of a popularization of more indie feds. And in this area, we had a little bit of a dearth here. But so we wanted to kind of fill that hole.
That's and that's what you're absolutely right. I mean, competition breeds success. It's been that way forever. And it's that way in just about any business.
Right.
So AEW coming along, kind of making a push, made them great, made WWE have to be better, and that trickles down. It's a trickle down effect to the indies. So you're 100% spot on. My question is, I know last year at the Festival of the Goat Queen, which is a big deal here in Homewood, a big deal at Rabid. It's a festival to end all festivals, and all of Homewood looks forward to it. There was a wrestling ring. I've seen footage. I was not allowed to be there. I was working at another place at the time, but I saw a wrestling ring and there was wrestling action. Was that a moment where you're looking around at this festival that you're running, that you're part of, and you're looking at that wrestling ring and people reacting to wrestling at that event? Did that start the wheels turning?
In a way, yes. But yeah, I mean, the thing about Feast of the Goat Queen, what was really amazing about that is that there were so many people here for so many other reasons than wrestling.
Right.
The vast majority of them were dressed as satyrs, fairies, dragons, things like that. And
It was a magical place.
It was a magical place, and they all came here. Most of these people were not wrestling fans at all, but they were absolutely electrified by the show that was put on. And a lot of them became independent wrestling fans after that. And so that alone, that kind of revealing of a demographic, that is more artistically inclined, that seemed to me something that said, this is it. This is something that we can do that is beyond just what has always been with the crowds, what has always been the typical wrestling audience. We can bring, because wrestling to me is really about kind of, it's like sports for theater kids. This is all, everybody here at Rabid, most of us were theater kids, and we went out, we got on stage, and it was an art form. And that's what wrestling is to me too. And so to me, it just seemed like there was a very clear kind of crossover and in the audience. And I think that we need to open up the audience and make it a little bit different than what it has been in the past, which has been, kind of basic, wrestling, and I think that we need to focus a little bit more on the entertainment aspect of it, the storytelling, the character focus, really make people get hooked the first time that they get out there and they see the action stuff.
That is fantastic. It's like you're Obi-Wan and you're speaking from the netherworlds about this vision of what's to come. And I love that. I love the enthusiasm too. Rachel, how about you?
Well, I wanted to comment on the fact that Rabid is the official beer of the Chicago Knockouts Roller Derby League, and was Knockouts part of the inspiration to get into the wrestling business?
Yeah. So that's interesting because there's like really some good crossover there. The way I see it, like I mentioned, sports for theater kids, the Chicago Knockouts Roller Derby is Chicago style roller derby, which is kind of the same thing. It's got a lot of it's not it doesn't have predetermined endings. It's still competitive, but it also does have a lot of theatrical aspect to it. And that's what I really enjoy about that. And I became a huge fan of CKO, you know, not just because, and well, I became a huge fan of it for a number of reasons, not the least of which is, you know, my wife is actually skating for it. But,
That's a good reason. That's a pretty damn good reason.
It's a really great reason. But when I went there and my wife brought me to my first roller derby, I was thrilled. It was awesome. And then when CKO came into town and they started doing their thing, and I saw what was going on there and the theatrics behind it and the intensity and the passion and everything about that, it was just like, yes, I am in 100%. So in a way, yeah, it did, because there's that kind of that crossover. And it, you know, that is it definitely had an influence. Yeah.
All right.
That was a great question. Look at you. When you are out on the town, you are quite the photojournalist.
I have my moments.
That is pretty impressive. And you do look like Lisa Loeb an awful lot tonight.
I do.
Very nicely done.
So I won't sing, I promise.
Well, we might want to hear some. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Hot Rod Daddy. It's the Hot Rod podcast.
Communicate with the people on the live.
You're
chat right
you're
now.
communicating with the people on the live chat, and I'm sure they're all
Ray's
asunder
currently
about.
watching, by the way.
Oh, right on.
What's up, Ray?
Hey, Ray.
They're all wondering how they can be part of Rabid Wrestling Entertainment, as most people should. But the fact that Andy himself is involved on a level with RWE, how did that getting in it with Andy? How did that all? What's all about that?
Well, you know, I mean, I first saw Andy working with Wrestle League out here, and he came and helped out and did the Feast of the Goat Queen as well with us, and I absolutely loved this character. Hot Rod Daddy Andy with the sunglasses is kind of like retro future look from rural Wisconsin or something, you know, like he's about to like step into a time machine, and you know, like, it's got to be a DeLorean for sure. But you know,
I would not give Andy plutonium under any
it's- yeah,
circumstances.
really
Or
a
access
bad
to a
idea.
DeLorean.
Oh my God! If we can get a book DeLorean for a show,
No.
that'd be the greatest entrance ever.
You know, as long as you don't hurt yourself at the door, you know,
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get into it at all, man. DeLoreans were built for people who were like 5'7".
But yeah, so Andy and I just started talking there, and then I noticed he was showing up at all of the CKO matches, and yeah, right, which
We all just have bad coffee.
it turned out that you know, Cactus Rack is there, and so we started talking there as well, and then that's when we kind of saw that wrestling was disappearing from Homewood, and I started talking to Andy about that, and so you know, wondering, you know, just kind of wondering out loud, like, how do we change this, you know? And it started looking like the answer was to do it ourselves. And I needed someone who knew the industry. I needed someone who knew people. I needed someone who had an idea of how all this stuff works. I needed a, you know, like Sherpa of some kind, you know, and Andy was my guy, you know, and he's, I mean, one of the most valuable things in most businesses is knowing the right people.
100%.
And Andy knows everybody, and it's incredibly good. So, and then, you know, beyond that, you know, our bonding over our love for wrestling and stuff like that, it's, you know, it's been a great
That is, it's as if you were reading my mind,
time.
because we're talking about the origin story now, as it's going to become to be known, the origin of Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. It's happening tonight. If you're just joining us, it's a brand new company debuting right now. It's
You're
live.
watching
You're
legit
watching.
what they're
You're
doing.
watching the kid shooting out of the canal.
Yeah.
That's probably not exactly the best reference, but you get what I'm saying here. To want to be part of this, to want to be in the wrestling world, means you have to be a wrestling fan. So let's take us through why you're a wrestler. I mean, if you have a background and you're saying, I'm ponying up, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
part of this, I'm gonna I'm going to be all in on this,
Yeah.
and do not sue. I'm just using all in as a general term. What wrestling? Tell me a little bit about what you liked. Where were you when wrestling came into your life? What
Yeah.
popped you?
I was a little kid. You know, I was out there, you know, I was out there pretending every day. I was out there being the little boy who runs around and wants to be a glorious warrior. And it was a blast with all of my friends. We were all doing it. And wrestling started showing up on TV. Certain kids had cable. I didn't. And so, you know, we would go over to certain, you know, to their houses and we'd, you know, watch matches and stuff, you know, we'd watch the Iron Sheik and watch, you know, Andre the Giant and everything. Did you guys see that music video that was recently released like a year ago? It was like when when Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant. It was incredible. That music video, like, actually brought me to tears because that was the life that we had. That was it. That was the experience, this amazing glory of seeing that.
It was our golden age.
Yeah, it really was. And it was so much fun. And then, you know, as I got older, you know, wrestling dropped off for me a little bit, you know, but then once I became an adult, it kind of came back, you know, and then Attitude Era hit. And it was just amazing stuff going on.
We share the same story because I was all in WrestleManias 1 through 3, and I watched it for a long time. Then I kind of fell away from it.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the Attitude Era hit and
Yeah.
the NWO and the Monday Night
Right,
Wars,
right.
and I was back in 100% vested again, and it just kind of stayed with me ever since. So
Absolutely.
I know your story,
Yeah,
my
there
friend,
it is.
because it's mine
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's it. I mean, that's where I came from, you know, and for me, like I mentioned before, you know, the art of it just became so fascinating to me, you know. Once you're like fully aware of, you know, how kayfabe works, once you're fully aware of like what's going on with the writing and the creative and everything, and then it just becomes such a fascinating entity because you're speculating on writing. You're speculating on creative ideas of other people of how they're going to do this. You're not speculating on, you know, whether or not somebody's got enough juice in them a certain day, you know, or whether or not they've worked out enough or whether or not they've trained enough. You're speculating on these other things that are much more artistic. And that to me was just fascinating.
You're speculating on, is he going to finish the story?
Is he gonna
All
finish
of
the
that
story?
stuff.
Yes,
All right, so
absolutely.
we're talking about all of the intricacies of pro wrestling, and we just happen to have an expert on our panel. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to hear him, but we're going to try.
I read.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the urban sensation, C Red. He has forgotten more about wrestling than I have ever known.
Then us combined will.
Yes. And Red, talk really loud.
I only hope to wrestle as long as Red.
You've heard all of what Tobias has said, and I feel like Tobias is our friend already because he's one of us already based on his answers. So what have you heard, and what do you think about this major announcement that happened tonight?
They go hand in hand. Rabid Brewing I fell in love the first night I was there.
As we all,
Yeah, but you got to understand, I was there for a completely different reason. I was there to promote the ARC per se. But they treated me and my better half so well. The food was like, damn, this shit tastes great. Like, we got to drive all the way out here for this. Like, this is crazy. I can't get this in the hood. So they already have the brand, right? Per se. Excuse me. Now they've been hanging out with us. Let's just be honest. They've been hanging out with us.
What
We've
about
been
Rion? What about Rion?
Who said Rhea?
Who said anything about Rhea?
he's a disenfranchised voice. He is somewhere around here. I don't know where.
Okay, my apologies. Oh, sorry.
He was physically here.
He is the whiz. He truly is the whiz.
He
And-
managed to come in a locked door too. I don't know how he did that. That was really wild.
I think Rihanna has turned into a magician at some point. Go ahead, Red. I'm sorry. It's the magic of Riyad's skills that kind of takes our breath away.
We see. So let's be honest, we're in a sense we're drug dealers. And we get people hooked.
T-Red's opinion is not necessarily that of I'm sorry. Go ahead. We're all drug dealers tonight. We're all
We're
slanging it.
selling
We're
dopamine.
selling dopamine, bro.
Just for sure.
We're slanging Silky's cane tonight.
And so let's be honest. Tobias got hooked. He now he wants more. But the beautiful
He's gonna
part
get more.
And isn't that what happens to all of us who start in wrestling? Like Michael over here, who's behind the camera right now. Sorry, Bree, but like he just kind of wasn't into wrestling. Then I popped up, and then he is like, hooked. Like it is in his flesh. This man can't leave wrestling. He goes to wrestling shows now. He just
It's in his flesh.
yeah.
You know, bro, they have shots for that.
The hooks of pro wrestling are in his flesh, and they will not let him go. He is in wrestling now. Tobias has it too.
May God have mercy on your
Yeah.
soul.
Sorry, my
and that's the thing. But Tobias, I think, he's coming in smart and not in the smart mark way,
Yep.
intelligent wise, because he realizes there's a void, but there's a way to fix that void. He has surrounded himself with people to help him that things what he doesn't necessarily know. And that's great because again, we talked about it Tuesday. It's that time of year.
It is that time of year. You're right, but this has nothing to do with that time of year.
But
This
that's
was
the crazy part.
premeditated long ago.
Because
This is not a tax refund thing.
But this is the opposite of somebody understanding what they are getting into and what they're doing and approaching it from a smart business sense. Most people don't do that. Most people call high spots, buy a damn ring, and hey, we're wrestling in the backyard this weekend.
And by October, they're selling that same ring on Facebook
October.
Marketplace. I've seen it.
Right. So I commend Rabid Wrestling Entertainment taking this huge leap. I will support RWE. See, I gotta remember.
Making air letters.
Right, I gotta make
Fired.
letters now.
It's had a long day. He's making letters.
I gotta make letters because I don't feel well. So
The question
I-
is, will you come out of sabbatical for RWE?
He's shaking his head. Yes, you can't see right now.
Oh, you know you will.
Right.
The call's gonna come. And Tobias is way too charming.
See Red is shaking.
well, me and Tobias have talked before.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's
Now,
gonna
we've
happen.
So
You're gonna be dancing around that ring before you know it, bro.
dude, I can do one-offs. One-offs is fine. I can do a special guest appearance. Now, doing it on a consistent basis,
Our people will call your people.
Good plan.
All right,
is
that's
that what Andy?
Love
Is
you,
that what
Red.
Andy was
Love you,
saying?
Red. Don't go. You'll get to talk in a minute, but Rachel's got like 17 questions. I'm looking at this sheet. I'm going, that's a lot of Rachel questions.
No, I gave you more questions.
You did give me a lot
I
of questions.
did give you more
But
questions.
now it's your turn.
I tried to feel better because he clearly was putting his voice out saying that.
Yes.
So all those very nice things. Red, I want you to feel that.
Red,
We love you, Red.
here.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you're gonna come out of sabbatical. You're coming. It's happening.
What's up, Ben? Ben's here. We've got a lot of people.
So earlier you mentioned inclusivity.
Bulletproof Ben McCoy.
What-
Sorry. That's on me. I got excited. Go ahead. It's all you.
As I was saying,
We're coughing again.
you mentioned inclusivity before. What is that going to look like for Rabid Wrestling Entertainment?
Okay, well, we think the ideal here is to have a roster that is well balanced with men, women, non-binary, doesn't matter. Inclusive means the same thing for Rabid Wrestling as it means for Rabid Brewing. All are welcome. And that's really an important message, and we believe that that's kind of the future of how everything should be, and we're going to follow that.
Wonderful.
That is an amazing
Wonderful.
point.
Yeah, there
Be-
should not
yeah.
feel like there's not a space for everybody, and this is a space that is for everybody.
We are still, some of us are still living with barbaric intentions. And I see it places I go because I work with a lot of LBGQT performers that are fantastic. They are phenomenal. They are entertaining.
Yeah.
And there is not that inclusivity. Say that word for me.
Inclusivity.
Yes, that one. There's not that. They get to work, but it's never a comfortable surrounding most of the time.
Right.
So that I think is a huge draw, and you will get those wrestlers because that's all they want, an opportunity to be in a safe space to do what they love doing. So the I word is the key. Go ahead.
And I think it's important to note that it's not performative. This is
Right.
something that I have seen personally at Rabid, how wonderfully inclusive it is. Everyone really is welcome here.
Everything she just said.
And sticking with that answer,
Yeah.
Oh, well
what are
done.
your favorite male and female and non-binary and
Wow, yeah.
all of the special important people in the world favorite performers?
Yeah. That's a difficult one. That's always going to be a difficult one.
It's always in flux.
Right. It is
just
in
kinda
flux. It's one of those-
changes.
Yeah, I can say one thing one day, and I mean, look, when it comes to the classic male wrestlers, I got to give the mic to The Rock. But was there anything more fun than watching Stone Cold go around and dole out stunners?
Probably not.
I can't think of anything. But when it comes to the women, oh my God, it's getting so stacked right now. You are getting so many great wrestlers out there. I mean, I love like Toni Storm's gimmick, and stuff. But I think that really the person who's impressed me the most and who I've really been high on for a while is Asuka. She is able to tell a story like very few other wrestlers without ever opening her mouth. You understand her character, you understand her motivation, you understand, what she's trying to do. It's incredible, and it's just so much fun to watch her every time she gets in.
I like those answers.
I do. I'm literally
I love
literally
Asuka.
next Friday.
I'm Asuka stan.
I'm gonna beg Sky Blue to come to Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. I'm gonna
Okay.
literally next Friday. I'm gonna literally beg her,
Okay, good
like
luck.
on my knees, grovel.
Good
beg.
luck. I hope you don't get sprayed in the face.
I might get well.
Okay.
You see, I saw your comment about catching up with the news. We've announced Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. I just wanted to reiterate for anyone who has joined, that is what's currently happening here.
Hi, Missy.
It's currently what's happening here at the round table here at Rabid Brewing. If you guys are in Homewood currently and want to have a beer, come down to Rabid. They're serving them. I'm sure you can see in the background. The pictures look great on camera right now.
The official
Everyone
glass.
looks great. Yeah, Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. That was announced.
All right, now it's your turn to answer
Had
the
to get over
question.
stuff.
It's your turn to answer the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite male performer, favorite female performer. Is that what it
Yes.
was? And current
Or
past?
non-binary,
whatever.
trans.
Current or
Whatever.
current or past? Can we do it that
Yeah,
way?
yeah.
In the past, obviously, male performer, is probably Roddy Piper. You would think he'd be Macho Man. I
He
love
would.
Macho Man because, I emulate him a lot in what I do.
He really
Uh,
does.
But honestly, it was Roddy Piper. Like,
One of the greatest heels ever.
and the fact that he didn't have to go out and do a lot, it was just his attitude and how he carried himself into the ring. He just felt like Roddy Piper was going to attack him. He's kind of like a snake in that sense,
Yeah.
which was great. That's why I really liked him. Female wrestlers, I like a lot of the current ones a lot more than the ones in the past. I didn't treat a lot of the ones in the past very well, so that kind of sucked. But like, there were a lot of really good wrestlers. Like,
Yeah, they never got like the chance.
yeah, like Lita was great, but they just sexualized her, did all this other
Yeah,
stuff. They
right.
shouldn't have done
They
that,
were
but
they
it
were
was with
they
the
were
times.
used as tools in plot lines,
Yeah.
rather than wrestlers.
Yeah, and
You
that
know,
was the of the time type situation. But female wrestler wise, man, Asuka is great. Yeah, I would probably say Asuka too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Asuka is freaking
I
sick.
love the way you said it. You're like, man, Asuka is great.
Just the character, the performance, and everything she does when she gets out the ring is the best thing ever. Like every time she comes out, heel or face. I know I'm excited. Rachel is probably excited. Hazel, our kids excited. Like Asuka is great. I'm definitely going with Asuka.
Yeah.
Piper and Asuka. There we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and then the obvious next question is, who's your favorite tag team?
Okay, so I am a big Dudley Boys fan. I mean, Dudley Boys were the shit.
I agree.
They were amazing.
Yeah, they were good. at everything.
The way they would walk out, the glasses with the tape,
The
you know,
intensity.
the intensity without the like
The
the tough guy
style.
rage.
Yeah.
You know, there was just that bubble rage.
And
Yeah.
everybody wanted to hear Devon get the
Yeah,
tables.
Devon get the tables. Oh my God, the pop that would happen on
Every
that.
time, still
That's
happens.
Amazing stuff. So yeah, Dudley Boys were me. And I'm sorry, but the Dudley Boys, Hardys, and Edge Christian ladder match,
Still one of the greatest things
one of the
ever happened.
greatest ever.
Yep.
Ever. So definitely Dudley's. And then, you know, not to be repetitive, but you know, the Kabuki Warriors, you know.
You really like Asuka.
I mean, I love Asuka. She's-
That's another vote for Oscar here.
Asuka is over on the podcast.
Asuka
Yeah.
has won the power hour.
She is gonna have to give her a call.
Yeah.
WWE's gonna give us now. They're gonna have to bring her on the power hour. Man,
Yeah.
it's the money.
I don't have that kind of scratch, bro.
It's the money, Steve.
I do it. I grovel a lot though, so that's we'll see what we can do.
And you?
Sure, I'm gonna be asked this question. Favorite tag team?
Yeah.
Shit.
If you say the British Bulldogs of the Heart Foundation, you're just phoning it in, man.
I
You're just phoning it in.
I did like the Heart Foundation.
Of course you did.
Ben.
I've seen the damn jacket.
Yeah, I know. I really did like the Heart Foundation. I made it
Uh-huh.
little jacket,
You did.
emulating them when I have my leather one on, which I wear from time.
Hitman Daddy Andy, right?
Actually, that's a great.
See?
Might need to give-
We're just raining you down tonight.
Everybody write that in, write that
Stay
in.
on task.
No, it probably is the Heart Foundation. I really like the Heart Foundation a lot. The Hardy Boys, obviously, like that's a given for anyone who likes any kind of tag team wrestling. That's like baseline answer. You have to like the Hardys. If you don't like them, then you kind of just don't like tag team wrestling. Who do you like, Steve?
Tag teams?
Yeah.
I am a final level guy myself
Wow.
because I get to work with them and I just think that what they do together on the local scene is terrific.
To the crowd mentioned who that is.
The final level is local superheroes Shogun Chris Logan and All Day Marche Rocket.
Yeah.
I when they formed this tag team, I popped like a 10-year-old child. And I have said publicly, I don't think any tag team that's working today can beat them.
Fun fact: at Rocket Pro, if they're still using that graphic, I created that graphic. It
They
was
might be.
It was super cool to see because they wanted like a Mortal Kombat team.
Yeah, they are.
They're still using it. It was great. Gustavo said Kai and Ty.
Shut up, Gustavo. Nobody likes you. Sorry.
Just yelling at
Very angry.
I like kind.
No, you don't. Sorry. I can't speak for you. I would never speak for you, Lisa.
Well,
Loeb.
apparently Andrew does not care who my favorite is.
Who is your favorite tag team? We got all. I was asking him a question, and then Kai.
It's the Bro Bros and
Oh, that's a solid
and,
pick.
and Piper Niven and Chelsea Green.
Also stellar.
Say her name right.
Piper Niven and Chelsea Green.
There we go. That's
Oh, boy.
WWE's gonna fly this so quick. Rion's back. You don't see him on the.
Why don't you
video.
ask Rion who his favorite tag team
Who's
is?
your favorite tag team?
Yeah, what do you got, Rian?
What decade?
It doesn't matter.
All open. Okay.
Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. As far as the 80s, as far as the 90s, Steiner Brothers, when they weren't killing it.
You gotta put that's
Yeah,
the
right.
disclaimer that we really didn't do.
Scott Steiner was dangerous back in WCW.
Mixed in with Sting and Lex Luger on because when they were a team, they were really, really good. In the Arch 2000s, they had expression like that in tag team division for WWE. Just as far as how they're connected, not just the people that X, but just all of it, because it was the one thing that was unsung that saved it in the way that they and did it. It wasn't until those three guys, as far as those three teams, but the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and Hardys, to where everyone else had no choice. Like that mid card, not just for the tag teams, but just like Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and Damon Lingo, as well as Kurt Angle was their mid card. So when you have them teaming up with these other people, just the strength that they had of making them better. Like all of the tag team division in WWE at that time. 2010s, as weird as you want to sound, chaos. From New Japan Pro Wrestling, because they were so intricate as far as moving other things. Everyone should be thinking like Bullet Club, but like no, that's not the case. Because they took a bunch of young guys and
You came the right way.
Ishii and making them into focal points for other people, like the Young Bucks, like Kenny Omega, like in order to anchor. That's what I look at. I don't look to just as far as moves. Like they anchor a lot of stuff as far as how things are. And I guess to be, funny.
Wait.
No,
it's not even up here anymore, my friend.
For the
Kings of the Six.
Too cool.
Too cool.
For the current generation, I guess the best thing to go is Regeneration X, because
Yes.
it's now more as far as entertainment as
Fucking love
opposed to
archery.
work rate, as everyone goes about saying. But if I had to choose like a team just in general, I'll go with what everyone was saying previously, and I'll just use Kabuki Warriors with Calvin and Asuka, because knowing that she was a student of Suzuki and knowing that she can handle herself against any male, let alone handling and anchoring the women's division and being asked to go into tag division, as far as a women's tag division that is non-existent, that they said, okay, we need you to fix this, and she can just do it and be done with it and not even blink an eye. Just hands down, like that, as far as current, because everyone else kind of just goes off athletics.
Yeah.
They just go off theatrics and everything else, whereas someone like Asuka and Kairi Sane, they're like, this is what we need to do in the moment right now. This is what we're going to do. Like they single-handedly rebuilt their women's division. And Bailey, who has been not existent for years, that they have now made into like it's.
Haley's probably gonna headline or close semi-headline WrestleMania.
Yeah, right.
Because of it.
When all she was doing was jobbing for a couple.
Yep.
Like it's,
Yeah.
like, I know that tag team wrestling, like everyone looks at tag team, I'm like, this is what we need to do. And we do like have great matches, but it's like, there's so much more stuff to it than just.
Yeah, the influence that they've had on the
Like
company
it
and
trickles
how.
down and they,
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess, is that good enough answer?
That was
Wonderful.
Yeah.
just came in here and dropped the mic. All right, Red, you gotta follow that. You gotta follow that. Good luck.
I'm not worried about it. The greatest tag team ever. Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. They whooped everybody's ass. I mean, when they came out and you heard Iron Man, Black Sabbath, shit, the intro you only got 2 minutes because the match was fucking over. They killed everybody. After that, the British Bulldogs, nobody had seen athleticism the way Davey Boy and Dynamite had been already in Japan. Both of them had really, but so nobody has seen that. Now, there's nobody on TV that really sparks me
Blunt
if
force
I don't know. Blunt force trauma is pretty cool, but my favorite of all time would have to be the Soul Touches, Marche Rocket, Acid Jazz.
That's because that's you manage them. You manage them.
It
Come
don't
on.
matter. I've seen them go. They've went against the Young Bucks. They've went against Seth
That's
Rollins.
fair. That's fair.
They did what they did. And again, when they're good, they're good. And when they're bad, they're very fucking good. So
Yeah.
you wonder why people had to break them apart. It's a reason, you know. They stole the show every time. So
You helped them steal the show. Pac-Man, we haven't heard from you yet, but talk loudly because we're in wide open spaces. What's your favorite tag team?
Can you guys hear me okay? Also, I
Yes.
didn't get a chance to say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody.
Pat.
So I would have to agree with Red. My favorite tag team all time is Road Warriors. I mean, nobody dominated like they dominated in the 80s and 90s. I mean, they looked so different from all the other tag teams. And I will lose my shit every single time I see a Doomsday Device. Greatest tag finisher all time, full stop.
That's fair. Well done, Pac-Man. Rachel, what's your next question?
I really wanted to know what your dream card is. Like,
Oh no.
if you had to start a show from
Act
top
two.
to bottom,
We'll book it right now on the table.
book that show right
Live.
now.
We're gonna be here a minute.
Six
If you
matches,
didn't know that I could ask hard-hitting questions, I can.
6 matches, all in a cage, on fire with the top.
But who's in it?
Well, I mean, so for me, when I think dream card, I think like anything, like any wrestler, anytime kind of a thing. You know, like that would be I would want to go with one of the greatest from the past and one of the greatest from the present. And I think I would probably go Will Ospreay versus Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, that would be so good.
Jesus. The engineer just popped.
We're booking Osprey versus Eddie is the curtain jerkers right there.
Yeah.
That's the
So,
curtain jerker. Well, you gotta start the show off hot.
Jerker.
You gotta do the show off hot.
Yeah, see ya. Careful.
He left his beverage.
He's coming back. Never mind. We retract that goodbye. Oh crap! How do we get any better than Will Ospreay versus Eddie Guerrero?
I'm not exactly sure how that works. You set the bar pretty high.
China versus Rhea Ripley.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome.
There we go. Second match,
Love
China
that.
versus Rhea.
Love that.
All right, now we got to book a third match. 6-match card right here, Steve. Who we putting on?
What are we doing?
Who we putting on? This 6-match card. Who we putting on?
Well,
We need a tag team. Let's
I
get the-
mean, a tag team? Oh,
we get 2000s Hardy Boys versus current Young Bucks.
2000s Hardy Boys versus current Hardy Boys.
Current Hardy Boys. Yes.
no. Delete. Delete. I would like to see. God, what would I like to see? I mean, you could pick anything, and that would be awesome. I mean, right now, obviously the Young Bucks are especially the way that whole final Sting match happened, what they did in that match. I don't know if it'll ever be sung the way it should be sung, because what they did for that man in that match is the measuring stick for being a good dance partner. It was magical, and the night was magical because of the Young Bucks in a way. I might like to see Triple H and Shawn Michaels sucking it versus the Young Bucks and seeing what. Well,
Phrasing.
Andy.
Phrasing.
I might like to see Degeneration X versus the Young Bucks. I think that would be a pretty cool thing. I'd like to see whose attitude gets over more.
Yeah, right.
Because the Young Bucks are brash. You either like them or you don't. That was really the calling card for DX. So
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna get that split chant where people are chanting Young Bucks and chanting DX.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah.
What about you, Kabuki
Okay,
Warrior?
We're on the fourth match of the
We're on
card now,
fourth
right?
match,
Yeah.
So.
Fourth match of the
Fourth
card.
match of the card. Well,
Well, no, she already put out the.
Yeah, that's right. You did the Rio China.
I did.
All right, so
And you
Which
stole
is
my
awesome.
tag team because I was going to put 2000s Hardys versus Young Bucks.
Yeah,
What's that?
You're up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am up currently right now.
yeah,
Soul Touches versus New Day.
Soul Touches
Touches versus New Day. Because the New Day stole the Soul Touches, and the Soul Touches are mad. They want to take
Okay,
that shit back.
See Red, would it be like original debuting New Day, or would it be now wrestling in jeans New Day?
That's only for hardcore matches.
I don't give a hold on. Let me cut this damn camera off. I don't give a damn what they put on.
Okay, that's fair.
No,
I mean, I feel like they're more aggressive now. So, like, do we want
I-
like original New
I-
Day, or do we want like aggressive New Day?
I don't. They can be aggressive. They can come out with bootios. I don't care. I want that ass.
You guys
Okay.
might not currently hear this on the microphone, but I think we're starting to rouse C right out of retirement.
Yeah.
He wants the Soul Touches to fight.
See, okay, C Red does not care what New Day wears to wrestle the Soul Touches. So
I don't.
We
just
I
so
don't.
we're clear.
Studios versus Soul Touches. Here we go,
A
baby.
Jizzle's the wild card in that
Yeah.
match.
Well, we got Big E though. Big E.
Yeah, but you got all day. I'll
Yeah,
take all
Big E
day
versus
over
Mark
Big
Day.
E with a broken neck.
No, I'm talking about like non-injured.
Oh,
like,
non-injured.
Top
All
of
right.
the card,
Yeah.
like
Look,
New Day.
Marche Rock is
Okay.
the best kept secret in this business right now. The fact that that man's not on Monday or Friday is a sin against
It
pro
is.
wrestling.
It's an
So
abomination.
I will up the ante and I will say all day Marche over Big E every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Got some.
Andrew's trying to rush us.
I'm not rushing.
No, we
I'm,
were-
I'm reading a lot.
We're fine. We're
Okay.
I'm reading everyone's comments. Everyone's calling.
All right, well, okay, so we had Red picking the Soul Touches versus the New Day. What about you, Andy? You're dodging it.
We're on the fifth one now.
Yeah.
Fifth match we've had a tag.
What
team, we've had-
about like juggernauts, like the big?
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking because I was gonna honestly put. I kind of want to see Seth Rollins in a match, but I want it to be like a triple threat. So I want Seth Rollins. I want. Who else can I put in this? It would be great. Give me Seth Rollins. Give me 90s Piper. That'd be cool. Piper Mark. And then give me like double heavyweight champion Daniel Bryan. Like let's just put that in a match together. So when he went on that run at WrestleMania and took all those belts, put that kind of style of a match together. I know Roddy Piper doesn't seem to fit, but that's kind of what I want. I want him to kind of just squeeze his way in and make things all weird and weaselly against Seth Rollins and have them two laughing at each other.
Yeah. You know what match I always wanted to see, but we never got it. At least I don't think I've never seen it. I always wanted Undertaker versus Abyss. I would like that. I always wanted that match. I always wanted to see who is.
If this was our booking of a WrestleMania card, Undertaker versus Sting would have been the thing, like 90s Sting
Yeah.
versus like 2000s, 90s Undertaker.
And Sting wanted it, and so did Undertaker. Just never.
Maybe Ministry Undertaker versus 90s Sting, like Pro Sting. That'd be cool.
Ooh,
There's
yeah, I
my
like
match.
that.
I retract what I said.
Yes.
Give me Ministry Undertaker versus Crow Sting.
You know, you've got 6 matches on this card, and The Rock and Stone Cold have not shown up.
That's where Roman Reigns comes in. We put Roman Reigns in there. We put The Rock. We put Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then we put Cody Rhodes. We went as well. Just have the biggest fucking huge. Or John Cena.
Are you trying to finish the story?
No, Cena.
No Cena.
No,
Ah,
You can't see me.
Can't see him.
Thugonomics coming back from Torn Peck Royal Rumble.
No.
I want old Cena with the throwback and the rap. That's the only time I gave a shit.
Ruthless aggression. John
Yeah.
Cena versus.
That's the only time I gave a shit.
Master. Let's go.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's pre-show.
Well, we got quite. That's quite a show. We have to have some deep pockets. We're gonna have a really
I
good
don't
week at
think we have the
Rabbit
money
to
for
fund
this.
that one. Really good
Yeah,
week.
and some necromancy.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
we're broke.
Yeah,
You got a big
raise the dead.
Are we
Yeah,
done with
but,
the
you know,
card?
Oh yeah, that was.
God, but like, what about like giants? You know, like the big
Also Andre
guys,
and Big Show?
Andre the Giant.
Andre and Big Show.
Andre the Giant versus Mankind.
He would kill them.
But
I want to see that.
We didn't put Mick Foley in
but
any match.
Mick
No.
Foley,
No.
yeah, oh God, right? Yeah,
Well,
we,
let's
did,
get- let's
we didn't
get-
do a hardcore match,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a book.
so like Darby and
yeah.
Foley.
Oh my God,
or-
Darby Allin versus Foley. There we
Yeah.
go.
No, Mick
Well,
Foley versus Archer.
Are you gonna bring the Sandman in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Tommy Dreamer.
I actually, R-Truth, I would love to see with Orange Cassidy.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I
Yes.
think that
Orange
would be
Truth.
hilarious.
The Orange
Oh
Truth.
my God.
We're making tag teams and booking matches.
Orange Truth right there. That's the perfect combination.
Well, we've got a card. It-
That's-
We have a full
that's
card.
valid.
We do.
We
Yeah.
booked like
We're gonna talk to Nick Swinky about putting that together in Fire Pro because he'll put everybody in this video game match. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna have him watch this
If
and I'm
you've
gonna have
got
him make it.
WWE 2K24, book this card
Yeah,
for
make
us. and
this.
tell me
Yeah,
how
book
much
this
it
card
is.
right now.
Good luck paying half the guys in the thing because I know how that game works.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. I'm old.
All
I
right.
stopped at Space Invaders.
The final question, the main event.
The final
The
question. Good
main
God.
event.
This is it.
What is it that you love most about wrestling?
The bias.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, there's so much to love about wrestling. There's the art of it. There's the thrills, the finishers, the characters, the gimmicks, all that stuff. All that stuff is so much fun. The glory, the pops of the crowd. Awesome. But I think for me, wrestling always was about the more private community that I created and like the friends that I would hang out with and how they would get excited about stuff and just talking to them about it. And so really it's that. It's people getting together and going, oh my God, isn't this crazy? What do you think about this? Ooh, what if we did this? Ooh, what if we sat here at a table and talked about what the best fucking wrestling, show ever would be? That is, that's it. That's the sauce. That's what it's all about. That is what makes it so much fun. And that's what I love about it.
I love that answer.
That's a fantastic answer, Andy.
You able to follow that one up?
Sorry, I was responding to Eric. What I love most about wrestling. See, I came into pro wrestling first as a fan, and then in the 2000s, I kind of been tracked away, but it was still kind of like in the back of my mind as something I wanted to do. And I know I've said this on the Power Hour like long ago, because I've been on here for like what, 4 times now, 5
Yeah.
times. I came back into wrestling as a musician, and already as a musician, I like entertaining people, and it's pretty much all I knew in like my early 20s until I kind of happened upon a wrestling school and got into wrestling. And long ago now, like probably like 10 years. But throughout all of it, what I've liked most is the like stories and entertainment and like the people I get to meet and the places I get to go, because I'm from Curtis Bay, Maryland, and if anyone in here is watching from Baltimore or Maryland at all, we probably didn't have a lot of prospects to go do crap in life besides like die or stay there. So getting out and getting to go to places like Florida, going to places like New York, going to Alabama, Tennessee, like everywhere I've gone, and having stories I can leave those places and come back with and tell all my friends about, like that's something like I hold real deep. Like I kind of suck with words, this. I'm not
Creating a
very good
history.
at, I'm creating something that I didn't think I'd ever get to do. And when I get to go out and tell a story to a kid who also doesn't think he'll ever get to do something, or some like adult who's having like a really crappy day and he's came out and spent $15 on a random wrestling show ticket that I happen to be on, and I can do the most silly thing and just pop that person to make them laugh, and they come up and shake my hand and then they just leave happy. Like that's the best part about wrestling. Like the traveling is fun, that's all good and stuff like that. But like if I can take someone in from having like a really crap day and provide them with something better to leave with, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
That's just for someone that's not good with words, as you say. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. What about you, Rachel?
Well, I got some PA friends.
I
Hi guys, Pennsylvania friends tuning in. DB Craft. I got some news about that later on.
Okay.
Much later.
Are you ending the podcast with that, or
No,
What?
I'm
No.
not thinking her over yet.
no? I'm
Yeah,
asking
we're
it because
not
you
over
just
there.
said you have news about it.
Oh,
So later,
I'll post about craft later. That's a wrestling thing that I'll post later.
okay. Well, my favorite thing about wrestling is actually women's wrestling because growing up in the late 90s, when you were bombarded with implants and lip fill like we aren't now, but implants and lip filler.
Why do you keep looking at me? I've never had implants.
Because you're my hosting partner,
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm having a conversation with you.
I am
That's
listening.
how you have a
Your
conversation.
plastic surgery.
I just thought you were accusing me of having some work. Clearly, the work was not done right, if that's the case.
Growing up in at a time when as anyone who's met me in person knows that I'm tall. I've been this tall since I was about 11 or
She is pretty tall.
and I think that for me, as I mentioned China earlier, the first time I ever watched wrestling, I happened to flip channels and catch her out talking shit to Chris Jericho with Miss Kitty next to her, and she's like,
Is this when she was dressing up like that?
Shit,
yeah.
we didn't book Jericho. That's a sin.
Yeah, that is
he can stay on. And like,
early Jericho.
Early Jericho.
it gave me like seeing China out there being so muscular and such a presence and being who she was,
Yeah.
despite everything against her. And then like that was when I finally realized that like I could do more than just be what society had told me I could or should be.
That's really cool.
So that is the reason that I love wrestling. That's the reason that I love women's wrestling. That's the reason I came back to wrestling when the Divas era got buried, as it rightfully should have been.
How does that work for you with Knockouts roller derby? Like,
In what sense?
do you have kind of like the same feeling of, you know, I can go out there and I can do this magnificent thing and I
Yeah.
can be this character.
And I have my moments, as we all know. Like I'm very honest on the podcast that I struggle with severe body dysmorphia, and so sometimes what I verbalize is not necessarily what I feel, but like as a fat person, to go out there and flip someone with my legs,
Yeah.
like I would never have thought that that was something that I could do.
Right.
You know, so it's definitely like wrestling led me to roller derby. Because when I got into roller derby, I really wanted to get into wrestling, but like I couldn't figure out how to get into wrestling
Right.
around here in like the mid 2010s. And so I did roller derby instead, and then I ended up in wrestling as a result of roller derby and CKO connecting with Southland Championship Wrestling, and that's where I started training. And so a lot of what you see when I'm skating is incorporated from my actual wrestling training. So it all became one big happy family.
And I want to chime into something we said earlier today about the inclusivity and everything else like that. This also involves like how you feel as a person too, not just like your sexuality and anything like that, but like there are people out there who feel like they don't have a place. And that's what this is. Rabid is trying to become, just like pro wrestling. There's always some story or some character or something going on in wrestling that catches a person and leads them into wrestling, and then you just kind of fall down that rabbit hole. This is what Rabid is. Like Rabid is trying to create that place for the people who don't feel like they have a place, and then hopefully they just kind of stick in the rabbit hole with the same. They see all the crazy stories.
It's for all the revolutionaries, for all the nerds, for all the weird ones. All of us.
I thought you were about to cut a Seth Rollins promo. I was like, all the visionaries.
all the architects. That was a good start to a promo right there. He's already got the chops. Wait till we get him on a mic.
Oh man, that'll be good. I'll be looking forward to that. I'll be looking forward to it indeed. Well, that was a very good answer, young lady. Well done.
That was.
Cheers to you and
Yeah.
that.
High five. Yeah.
Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. It was born this night in this place and will be coming soon to a venue near you. And again, with everything you've heard tonight, the building blocks have been made and you've seen it with your own eyes. Inclusivity with a penchant for history, a penchant for storytelling, a penchant for characters. What more do you need? Red, what more do you need?
for them to put the first show on.
The first show.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Indeed. Indeed.
This has been quite a night.
It has been.
This is we've gotten a lot of information tonight.
Well,
Uh-oh, are we breaking more news?
the what we can say is that we are planning something, a soft kind of debut in July. We will come back with more information on that later.
So not only did you have the birth, but you have sort of a coming of age as well as we look forward to the summer. There's
Yeah.
there's
So,
whispering in secret.
No.
They caught you on that camera. The camera
I got
doesn't
you on
lie.
that One too.
Trying to figure out all we could mention.
Yeah.
My bad.
And right, obviously, we're just starting out, but social media, we are developing our presence there. So if you want to come and grab us on Rabid Wrestling Entertainment on Facebook, come hit us up and hope to see you soon.
Likes and follows galore, people.
Yeah,
Do yourself a favor.
I'll be sharing the page like a million times throughout the next few weeks. Trust me, I'm probably gonna get annoyed with it.
That's fair.
But if you go to the page now, just as another surprise, you'll see our logo, which we don't have a picture of on here. I think the print one out or show it. You could probably. We didn't think that far ahead.
Right, yeah.
We're going right after it.
I didn't think to actually post a picture of what the logo looks like, but if
Yeah.
you can, and if you
I meant to, yeah.
it's all right. We didn't think that far ahead, but you can go follow the page on Facebook now. It's been live for a bit. We've just been hiding it very well. Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. You can follow that. Follow Rabid Brewing as well too.
Yes, because the beer here is delightful. I'm not going to say just the beer. There are spirits here, and all spirits are delightful. Right?
Yes.
Am I-
Come for the spirits and stay for the weirdness.
Yes, yes. There now we're cooking with gas. And there's the logo. Look at that. Look at PX. PX
There
has
we
got
go.
the logo right there.
He was on it.
Show the camera. Show the camera. They can't see it there.
We're just gonna Red, I'm turning you around.
Walk right up.
I'm turning you around, Red. Whoa, that is a mind screw right
Yeah,
now.
it's
That's
real
said the F word.
Streaming and
All right, there we go.
You're being screamed as you're screaming.
There we go.
But is there anything else?
No, that was fantastic. I wanted to say thank you very much for having me on your shows. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
This was a technical nightmare, but we actually completed it.
Wrestling working together, podcasts working together, people working together. It's all about inclusivity, and that's where we are
And
here.
community.
And community,
Thank you,
Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge, and you're going to want to be on the ground floor. So get here.
Tell your local nerds.
Thank you, Power Hour. Thank you, Rabid Brewing. Thank you, Michael, for running all the technical stuff and
Yes,
like
thank you,
not
Michael.
melting down and-
You dead sexy beast.
He did it. Thank you, Bill Revlin. You were the best. I think we're gonna wrap that up right there. We got our first Hail Rabid. That'll be great.
Hail Rabid. That's a
Great
chant.
end to show. That'll be awesome to see.
Yeah.
Red, tell the kids one more time how you feel about RWE. Man, that would be a hell of a chant too.
Tell them how you feel, Red.
Feel fucking great. But I want the first show. So I'll be there in July.
Yeah, and we're gonna have the red suit on, and we're gonna
No.
dance. Yeah,
No.
sabbatical be
No.
damned. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Again, if again, consider it's just an opening. If Tobias
Can we book Red?
wants me there, I can be there.
Red is the devil.
Red, do you want to be the devil?
The Devil Red.
Perhaps.
And the devil is in the details, of course.
I've been called worse.
That, and I've called you one, but that's neither here nor there. All right. This has been a great night. We have seen revolutionary things, as Tobias put it. Follow Rabid Brewing on Facebook. Follow Rabid Wrestling Entertainment. Thanks to Andy. Thanks to Tobias. Thanks to the sexy man behind the camera. Thanks to this sexy woman here. Thanks to Rion Skills, PX, and the urban sensation C Red. What a great night here live at Rabid Brewing. It's just going to get better.
It's for everyone.
It's just going to get better. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on the Power Hour. Good night, everybody.
Good night.